Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 2000. Are we at 2198? Is that it?
Mike's Daily Podcast
2198. Yes, we are almost at 2200. Who gives a rat's patoot? I don't know, but I would like to tell you I was watching this documentary about rats in Cambodia, and the rats in Cambodia are pretty big, and I'm telling you, they almost look like cats. They're so big. And
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but they're cute. Yes, they have the long, scary rat tail, but
Mike's
they almost like
Daily
look like a ferret.
Podcast.
And you know how people have ferrets?
Yeah!
And badgers. Don't they have badgers and ferrets? Anywho. Cafe Anyway. That's what I saw. In fact, the rats are so smart. I don't know if it's the typical rat like we have here, but it is a type of rat that's actually kind of smart. And they teach these rats to walk on certain fields in Cambodia where landmines were planted. And the rats are not heavy enough to trigger the landmine, but they can sense the landmine. They're like little dogs. They know, you know how dogs can sniff out drugs. These rats can smell the whatever it is in the landmine. I forget what it is. And they do like a little noise, and they let the people that are handling them know that there's a landmine beneath and it should be taken care of, because apparently landmines are still killing people, even though I think the landmines were put in there decades ago. So there you go, a little bit of interesting news that I got from watching Netflix and that Jack Whitehall show, Traveling with My Father, I think is what it was.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Him and his dad, Michael Whitehall. Let's hear it for Michael's. Well, I don't know what podcast picture. You got me today. I did not plan this far ahead. And, oh, wow. So I made a review. This is something I don't like to do. In fact, I had a segment called Did I Yelp That? Or something like that. Speaking of yelping or barking, the wonderful Basil the Boxer. Yes. And Basil and I went all over the Bay Area. Occasionally I would review some of the places we had been to. And in fact, I did review the one place that Basil got a ticket. I got a ticket because Basil was off leash, and I gave a nasty review to that park. What was it? The Oyster Bay Regional Shoreline in Hayward. Or San Leandro. Yes. So, I did a review about this place that takes your clothes. And the owner said, "Hi, Mike. Thank you for taking the time to leave this great review." Aw. It's like a place where you take your clothes and they give you money. And I said, I loved it. The people were so helpful. With COVID, you make an appointment and then walk down the street and get a coffee. But I used a coffee emoji. By the time you come back, they let you know what clothes they'll buy from you. And I typed all that on my phone and then submitted it. I didn't actually sell the clothes. My lovely lady friend did. And I talked about that on a recent show, which I'm sure you enjoyed. Okay. Cafe okay. Here is something we have learned since the pandemic. There are many ways to amuse yourself while watching television or streaming programs. Perhaps you have a laptop and you want to stream something and watch something off of that. Or perhaps you have this thing. What I have is that Xfinity Flex. They just gave it to me for free. And I said, well, thank you. Am I going to have to pay for this at some point? No, Mike, you will not have to pay for this at some point. Quit being so cynical. Thusly, I have been using it and enjoying it, but they're great resources of content for your smart TV, Roku, or Apple TV. Netflix is the 800-pound gorilla of streaming. This, according to Costco Connection, a magazine I have been taking from a lot lately because I'm going to throw it out. I'm getting tired of using it. So let me read what it said. It specializes in original movies and television series. And I will say in a side comment, none of them are good. Okay, maybe a couple of them are good. Okay, maybe the one that I just quoted at the beginning of the show where it talked about the rats in Cambodia. I got that from a Netflix show. And it's got a fair selection of new and classic fare. Not really that much. I'm very underwhelmed by Netflix, as I've talked about. The home of Stranger Things, and Cobra Kai, It has a dense catalog that can be both intoxicating and intimidating. Mikey don't like it. Sorry. Netflix should try harder to appease old white guys like me. In a short time, Disney Plus has emerged as a big competitor to Netflix. With the combined might of the Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel franchises, it is a force to be reckoned with. The Mandalorian has been an early selling point. A lot of people that I know, side comment, love that and ask me all the time, have you watched The Mandalorian yet? Have you watched The Mandalorian yet? Have you watched it yet? Have you watched it? No, I have not. Back that up, you nerd. Says the nerd. I am a big nerd of some sci-fi stuff, but the Star Wars thing, not as much anymore. When I was a kid, yeah, sure. That's the thing. When I was a kid. See, we used to delineate it as we go outside a cafe anyway. We were bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. We used to, in the last place on earth, we used to delineate it, didn't we? Used to be, oh yeah, I liked that as a kid, but now I'm an adult and I like adult things. And then these franchises said, well, we're going to get you as a kid and we're going to get you as an adult. Here we go. We're going to make it okay for kids stuff to have people die and get tortured. And we'll give it the PG-13 and some kids will get to see it, but the adults will get to see it and they'll get hooked and they'll still like it. I don't like that. I'm getting rather sick of the adults that are still acting like kids. Oh, it's okay to be a man-child. Look at all these TV shows that praise, that honor, that make the man-child look like the greatest thing on the planet. They reinforce the man-child. Like, man-children. Maybe the previous president we just got rid of. Man-children. What's going on here with the man-children thing? Grow up, as Joan Rivers used to say. I just quoted Joan Rivers. Wow. And now I feel old. But you know what? It's true. Where is the maturity? I know a guy who wears all the time. He brings a lunchbox. Like when he was a kid, he brings one of those old style pail lunch boxes to work. Lunch pails. He wears like Green Lantern shirts to work. You know the type. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You work with the same type of people. You know the same type of people. They got the Captain America shirt, the Captain America pillow, Superman, whatever. Grow up. Oh, says Mike Matthews, who's standing outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley. And in just a few moments, he's going to have some cartoonesque sounding characters talk. All right. At any rate, that's the world we live in, and it's exciting, isn't it? Okay. It's got family-friendly fare. It appeals to a wide demographic. It also offers an affordable bundle with Hulu and ESPN. Which somebody said, ESPN Plus, which somebody said to me the other day, and I think it's true. There used to be a time when you'd pay for cable and you'd get everything. If you paid a certain amount, the premium amount, you'd get the whole thing. So you'd get now there's all these channels that you got to pay extra for, and they're loving it. Da-da-da-da-da. And then here's another point. It's easy to slide down deep rabbit holes on YouTube. That's true. I watched a whole bunch of Annie Lennox stuff last night. Not just like the Annie Lennox Eurythmics stuff, but I was watching, her music video to No More I Love Yous. Remember that song? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh. And then a music video for some song I had heard the song but never seen the music video, and I can't think of it. I don't want to wait in vain for your love. That one. And she looks like Minnie Mouse. I don't know how she got I'm surprised Disney didn't sue her for that, or maybe they did, but that's a clever video. And then I watched a couple recent interviews with her. She's brilliant. She's artistic. She has a she's a deep thinking person, that's for sure. And has a lot of interesting things to say. And she still sounds amazing. And she sings still and plays the piano. And she's a marvelous piano player. And she performed at some Sting benefit where she sang How Fragile We Are, How Fragile, that one. She did the better version than Sting. And Sting wrote the song. And Sting's watching it going, wow. So, I guess there's all kinds of interesting stuff to watch on YouTube. YouTube Premium offers the chance to peruse the site's original series, like Defying Gravity, The Untold Story of Women's Gymnastics, explore its music service. I tried the HBO Music, and it just confused me, and they said, we'll give you a month for free. And I said, you know what? I Spotify. That's all I gotta say. Or, gosh, there's so many other music services. HBO Max, they've got the DC universe there. So if you're a grown man that likes to watch superhero films because you're a man-child, they've got Titans and Doom Patrol. Then there's CBS All Access. I think that all this stuff requires you to pay extra. However, with the Xfinity Flex, because NBC and Xfinity are in cahoots, they gave you the NBC Peacock Premium for free. I think you can watch a lot of stuff. Well, it shows commercials, so I don't know if that's the free version. I don't know if it's the premium version. I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. And finally, some streamers specialize. The Criterion Channel is an offshoot of the eponymous company that lovingly upgrades newer and classic titles into souped-up Blu-ray editions. Its bonus features are also ported over here, making Criterion a pioneer that way. It also curates double features and brings in titles like that directors whose work has been released on disc. It's an art house movie lover's dream. Did I mention Hulu? They got Handmaid's Tale and Hillary. Hulu's vast selection of television favorites from a large variety of sources, everything from ABC to AMC. And then if you like horror films, there's Shudder. It's emerged as the leader of aggregated known scare fare. On my Flex thing, I get this thing called Tubi, which I watched The Librarian, which was this pretty bad Noah Wyle. It was a triad of movies. It was a trinity of movies. It was 3 movies that featured him as some kind of adventure, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones type guy who works for some big library, I think the New York Library, but like he's off on this other annex that they collect all the mystical things, right? Like Excalibur, the Holy Grail, Noah's Ark is in this one part. And actually there's a lot of religious type things he goes searching for, like the spear that pierced Jesus' side on the cross, the Judas chalice, which they somehow then morph into a chalice that can turn you into a vampire, or if you're a vampire, it makes you invincible, some crazy thing. And then they also had the other, Solomon's Mines. So all kinds of bizarre. So that was with commercials, but you could watch that. And what's the other thing? Then the thing my lovely lady friend and I were talking about, the Rosie Perez and Jack Whitehall, called the Bounty Hunters, but that's not good. You know what? I'm not a big fan of Weeds, where every mistake, the character makes a mistake that makes another mistake. At some point, I'm like, can't you learn from your mistakes, you stupid character? Make a right decision for once. That's how, it's one of those type shows. If you love that, where the main character makes mistake after mistake after mistake, and then by the end, everybody on the planet Earth hates that person, that's your show. Enjoy that. The anti-hero type show. That's what that is. Okay, and then finally, if you are a big fan of British television, as am I, you can devour through both Acorn TV and BritBox, with each service featuring original movies and series, along with a plethora of aggregated content. There's, I think I saw the Midsummer Murders on BritBox. There's the original series, There She Goes, along with Doctor Who. So there you go. And we're outside a cafe anyway. Who's here? Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How are you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
I don't understand the British show because they talk with that accent and say things I don't understand.
Uh-huh. I'm sure they can understand you, too. And look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. Have some.
Do you like this root beer? It's very good. Do you think I should take a sip?
Yeah, drink it now. I'll cut you.
All right. It's... Splendid. Yeah, no man-child here. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Tell me what you think about all this. You can call me 336-MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast has been now for a couple of days. Look at that. Look at how long is that going to last? I don't know. Okay. And the podcast picture today will be of we'll go with this nice little view of Coal Canyon. Used to be Coal Canyon Lake. It's now Coal Canyon Creek. And there was some kind of vulture flying around. You can see that picture at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Take it away, A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!